Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Science at Home. Today we're going to learn all about biogas, and we're going to see how you can build a mechanical cow who is able to create a gas that can replace fossil fuels. So I'm here with Niamh, and you're a scientist with Gas Networks Ireland, is that correct?
That's correct.
Good stuff, and you guys are the ones who pipe all the gas around the whole country to keep our schools and homes warm and to keep us fed, is that true?
That is true.
So could you tell me a thing or two about what this gas is and where it comes from?
Yeah, no problem at all. So the gas that we use to heat our homes, for cooking, for electricity generation, and also as a transport fuel is natural gas. And natural gas is found deep beneath the Earth's surface in rock layers, in rock pretty much just like this one.
Okay, so wait, the gas is inside rocks like this?
Yeah, so in the case of this rock, it was actually oil that was held within this rock, and it comes from the North Sea in Scotland from an oil field called the Bray field. And the way the gas is held is that within this rock and within some of the types of rock that we find deep beneath the Earth's surface, there's really tiny spaces called pore space, and that's where the natural gas is held.
Okay, because I would have thought it was a big huge hole underground, but okay, so we have to dig these rocks up. And wait, is that why we call it fossil fuels, because it comes from a rock?
So the reason it's called fossil fuels is that if you remember back millions and millions of years ago, we had dinosaurs roaming the earth, and there were other animals and plants existing too. And whenever these dinosaurs, animals and plants died, their material was buried deep within the rock layers. And over very long periods of time, there was great amounts of heat and pressure generated, which turned this animal and plant matter into natural gas, ergo a fossil fuel.
Okay, so it took millions of years of all this animal and plant material being crushed underground to create this natural gas. But I think we understand now that fossil fuels aren't good for the environment and they contribute towards climate change. So is there a plan to use some other type of gas, or how are we going to get away from this?
Yep, so as you say, fossil fuels are a big contributor to climate change. And although natural gas is the cleanest of the fossil fuels, the other being oil and coal, it is still a non-renewable source of energy. So what that means is that we don't have an infinite supply of it, and also we cannot generate it as humans.
Okay.
And also with fossil fuels, when they are burnt, the carbon that was stored within the fuel is released into the atmosphere as carbon dioxide. And it is this carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas, which is contributing to global warming and to climate change.
Okay, right. So how are we going to somehow create a gas without digging it up from the ground and causing all this issue? Is there a plan for that?
Yeah, so there is. So Gas Networks Ireland, like many companies, are using science to help with our climate change objectives. And our objective is to decarbonise the gas which flows throughout our pipelines. And the two gases that we're looking at are hydrogen and biomethane. And today we'll just touch on biomethane. So biomethane happens whenever organic matter and residues break down, creating methane. And if we look behind us, we can see these lovely cows. And whenever these cows poo, their poo automatically releases methane into the atmosphere.
So I can run around here and try and capture all of the methane coming off the cow poo?
You might be a long time doing that, but you could try.
Okay.
So instead of letting this methane release into the atmosphere, we instead use a process called anaerobic digestion.
Okay.
So what anaerobic digestion does, if we think of the facility, which looks like a dome, if we think of that as a mechanical cow, and let's say we feed this mechanical cow grass silage and slurry as an example, we think of the facility as the cow's stomach, which allows the breakdown of organic material. And instead, again, of it being released to the atmosphere, it's captured within the facility in an oxygen-free environment. So we capture all of the biogas.
Right. So instead of an actual cow pooping out and creating some source of methane there, we build a mechanical cow and we feed in all the normal ingredients and we capture every single bit of gas that comes off, and we can use that gas instead of digging it out of the ground.
Absolutely. So there is just one final step to change the gas that is produced in the anaerobic digestion facility. That is known as biogas, and we need to change that to biomethane. So biomethane is a direct substitute for natural gas within our gas network. So once we've upgraded and cleaned the biogas, and what that means is we remove some of the impurities such as carbon dioxide, We can directly inject it into our network and it can go to schools, homes, hospitals, businesses without any change required at your home and no change required to our network as well.
Okay, so that's really exciting to hear that there are options out there that we can swap out the fossil fuels with biomethane and we can try to do better things for our environment to reduce climate change. Thanks so much for teaching me about that, Niamh. Now we're going to go and have a look at how some of this biogas is actually created. So we've come down here to the Growery in Birr, County Offaly. Now the Growery is a community garden and a wellness initiative. So what they're doing here is they're taking all the leftover leaves and weeds and bits and pieces of vegetables, and as well as turning them into compost, they're putting them into a biodigester and making their very own biogas right here. So let's go have a look. Okay, I'm here with Evan. Thanks so much for having us here, Evan. And I wondered, you might tell me a couple of things about how you ended up creating this place and how you ended up creating your very own biodigester.
Well, that's a very long story, Dan, but I'll give it a try. Okay, so, well, we started this place in 2015, and, I had a sore stomach at the time. I think they called it Crohn's disease, generally fits in the category of IBS. I think 1 in 5 people in Ireland suffer from IBS.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, a very, very long story short, I figured out little bits and pieces between 2008 and 2015, and then when 2015 hit, I finally understood what I needed to do.
Okay.
And what I needed to do was to get healthy bacteria out of the soil into my gut. And how do you think I was going to do that?
By creating your own vegetable garden and eating the vegetables?
Exactly.
Perfect. Okay, so creating a vegetable garden is one thing, but how did you start on with the biodigesters? And will you explain to us what this biodigester is and how it actually operates?
I will indeed, sure. Yeah. So in 2015, again, we had just begun this place. And for the 3 years previously, I was looking at the Irish energy system. I was looking at agriculture in Ireland. And I was thinking, jeepers, we have a lot of cows producing a lot of slurry.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be good if we could do something with that? And I had heard about this man called Dr. Arty over in India. And he befriended a man from Florida State University, a good friend of mine, a National Geographic explorer. And his name is Dr. Thomas Henry Culhane, TH. And so TH and I had a chat, and he came over to Ireland, and we jumped into a rent-a-car, and we travelled around Ireland, and we built 9 of these in 8 days at permaculture sites and community gardens all around Ireland.
Okay, well, it's a fine-looking piece of equipment. I'm trying to figure out how it operates and what all the parts do. So maybe you can take us through the parts and explain what goes on, because we've heard that it's kind of like a mechanical cow. Would that be correct?
Oh, mechanical cow is a good one, yeah. Mechanical cow, we prefer to call it our pet dragon.
Pet dragon, because of the flames.
It breathes fire.
Okay, well, let's have a look. Take us through it and we'll see how it operates.
Well, here we have our biodigester, which in simple terms is an IBC tank.
Okay.
And an IBC tank you'll get probably second hand for anywhere between free and €100.
Okay.
And we've done a few very simple things with it.
Okay.
We've taken a 5-inch hole saw, we've put one hole here.
Yeah.
We've taken a 2-inch hole saw and put a 2-inch hole here.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, 3, but anyway.
Yeah.
And then we've built a gas out, which you can see are simple fittings that we bought in the hardware store down below.
Yes.
Very simple setup, a bit of hose pipe.
Cool.
And then we had to begin our inoculation process.
Inoculation process. And what is an inoculation process?
Well, to put it in technical terms, it's going up the fields with a bucket and collecting as much from different animals as you can find around the fields.
Yes, okay.
And the logic there is, the more different types of poop you can find, the more different types of archaea that you inoculate that are living in there. So we're going to put them type by type into the bucket, in here, and then they begin to do their thing. We feed them, they grow, and they spread throughout our biodigester.
Okay, perfect. Fantastic. So once we have inoculated our tank here with our archaea, who are going to do some munching on some sort of stuff, we need to give this stomach some sort of food, isn't that right?
That's right, yes.
And what sort of food will it eat?
It will eat just about anything except wood. So what we tend to do is there are certain types of weeds. Any gardeners will recognise this one is called bindweed. And if you, even the tiniest bit of its root will regrow as a plant.
Okay.
So nobody wants to put it in the compost heap.
Okay.
So the best thing for it is to stick it into the biodigester. That's it, chomp, 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 and we push it down, and you'll hear over here as we push this in.
So here we go. Oh, yes. So it's eating on this end and pooping and peeing on this end. So what is this that comes out?
Well, this is called digestate. So this is the digested matter. So this tube is going all of the way, the mouth tube, to the base. And that's where most of the archaea live. But you see, the thing is, our lipids and fats, which are the most methane rich, they will separate and they'll come up to the top. So we have floaters here in the top that will have colonies of archaea living on them.
Okay.
They'll digest the lipids and the fats at the top. The ones at the bottom will digest the solid matter, and the most digested material will come up to the middle of the tank. And so this tube here has a hole right in the centre here, midway down the pipe. And as you push in, what's after coming out there has come out from here, right in the centre, where you have that most digested material.
Okay, and what can we use this for? Is it useful?
Oh, is it useful? This is called black gold.
Black gold?
Black gold, yes. So it's a highly bioavailable liquid fertilizer.
A liquid fertilizer. So we put in all this here, we get liquid fertilizer coming out this end, and we also get methane gas.
We also get methane gas.
Let's go look at the gas now. So our gas comes out this tube at the top here, the whole way around, and is stored in here, Evan, yes?
That's it, yes.
And then we just connect up to the tube, and the biogas comes the whole way through here and out here, and we can cook on it.
That's right, we can.
Can we make some tea?
We can, yeah.
Let's fire it up.
Sure. So in the tube, we have about 20 minutes of gas cooking time every day.
Okay, every day 20 minutes?
Every day, 20 minutes, yeah. And every day, 1 5-litre bucket of liquid feed. So we open this out, we give it a small little second because it's on its way around.
Okay.
Then we're just going to come up here. We like this. Oh, and there you see. Now you see our flame is almost invisible.
But wait.
If you hold that
well,
there.
Oh, yes, yeah, it's definitely burning.
It's definitely burning.
I'm trying to burn down your garden.
And so we're going to put this here and we'll come back to it now in a little minute.
We'll have a mug of tea.
That's it.
Let's have our tea.
Cup of tea. Tea, sir?
Yes, thank you, please. This is fantastic. 2 mugs of tea powered by some vegetables. I learned loads about biogas. Thank you so much, Eimhin, and I can't wait to come back to see you again here at the Growery.
You're very welcome.
I learned so much about biogas from Niamh and Eimhin, and Eimhin even gave me this giant box of vegetables to bring home. So see, you can grow your own vegetables and use them to create biogas, and then you can use the biogas to cook the vegetables. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next one.